Hello and welcome to Cricket Happenings, dear friends and subscribers. Well, I do have a sore throat, but as I've always been telling on this cricket show, that cricket is very, very dear to me. Whatever be the situation, I am out here to speak on this particular cricket show. So, as far as today's cricket show goes, it's all about the T20 matches that was played all around the world today. And, you know, today my excitement might be a bit nipped off today, but please bear with me, dear friends, subscribers. It's going to be a skimmer today. I can't go into any nitty gritties with three matches that I have to cover. The first match, we are talking about the Trans Tasman Series, where, as I said, England, it has been decided that New Zealand, the hosts of the Trans Tasman Series, the joint hosts, Australia and New Zealand, will be clashing in the finals of the Trans Tasman Series, and fittingly so, as the series is called the Trans Tasman Series, and Australia and New Zealand are the ones who are the Trans Tasman rivals for the finals on Sunday. Well, now, so that is as far as the and as I said, New Zealand, even though England won the match, they had to actually get New Zealand out for 174, which they failed, and it helped New Zealand sail into the finals. And again, the battle is going to be at that run feast ground, Eden Park in Auckland. As far as the other match was concerned, it was Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka ended off on a great high. They ended the tour of Bangladesh on a great high as they went on to hit Bangladesh one more time to take the T20 series 2-0, and thus completing this tour of Bangladesh with a great bang, I would say, because they won all the formats on the tour of Bangladesh, this rebuilding Sri Lankan team under the tutelage of coach Chandika Hathurasinghe, who made all the right moves today, which I'll be talking about. And as far as India and South Africa were concerned, it was the start of the first T20 match of the T20 series. Once again, it was the Indians who won the match, but I thought the South Africans did a good job in really whittling down the target, but again they could not finally make it to the final bend as India won the match handsomely. And one has to say India totaled up 202. That was the highest ever totaling in South African T20s, and won that first match of the T20 series to go 1-0. But first, so now we are returning to the real reports, or the match summary as you might call it. So first we will look at the match summary between England and New Zealand. This match was played at Seddon Park in Hamilton, and all the eyes were on in this particular game, because this was the game which was to decide as to which team will go and meet Australia in the Trans Tasman T20 Tri-Series in the finals. And England were the ones who batted first on this wicket. The wicket was a bit slow. I wouldn't say it was very, very easy to play the strokes, but nevertheless, we still had a very good game of cricket. The ball was gripping at times as well. As far as England were concerned, 194 for 7 consisted of Morgan, the England captain, coming into some great form here. And after the injury, this is the first time that Ian Morgan really took off, as he made an unbeaten 80 of just 46 deliveries, spanking 4 fours and 6 sixes. Other than that, David Mallon continued his great run as far as T20s are concerned. Now, yesterday, as I said, he equaled the record of the former Sri Lankan dasher Sanath Jayasuriya, but today he broke that record as David Mallon has now, in his first 5 matches, has got 450s under his belt in T20. What a player David Mallon is turning out to be for England. And look at his knock. His 53 came off 36 deliveries, which consisted of 2 fours and 5 sixes. So such is the batting from David Mallon, who went after Trent Bolt. Saudi got a bit of real stick as well today, and so that was the main, I would say they were the main contributors. Other than that, does not make any happy reading. Jason Roy could manage only 21 of 13 deliveries, 3 fours and 1 6. Kane Williamson taking some catches at the fence. Alex Aylesworth caught Williamson ball Saudi for 1 of 4 deliveries. Butler was a victim of the bowling of Saudi as he tried to give him the old-fashioned hoik, I would say. Saudi, the leg spinner, taking his wicket. Billings got his stumps rearranged by Bolt for 6 of 8 deliveries. Willie fell a victim to Saudi, 10 of 5 balls, 2 fours. Liam Dawson, who was playing in this game, was out for 10 to Bolt of 3 balls, 1 4, 1 6. Jordan remained not out on a solitary 6 that he hit. And England still managed to get a good score of 194 for 7 of their 20 overs. The bowling, Trent Bolt 4 overs 3 for 50 was very costly. Santner today was really hit very hard. 2 overs costing him 32 runs. Saudi 4 overs 2 for 22. To me, the pick of the bowlers was Tim Saudi, 2 for 22. Granholm 4 overs 1 for 32. Kane Williamson 1 over no maiden, and he was slammed for 16. Lee Sodhi 4 overs 1 for 31, and Colin Munro bowled 1 over, which went for 11 runs. Now New Zealand were given a target of 195 to win the match, but essentially, if England were to sail into the finals, their total was not 194. One could assume it as 174 because 73, I would say, with New Zealand requiring 174. Well, once again, Martin Guptill and Colin Munro really blasted the English bowlers to all parts of the ground. Especially, it was Colin Munro in the power play overs. He went ballistic. In fact, he smashed 57 of just 21 deliveries, which included 3 fours and 7 sixes. Also, the English bowlers David Willey and Tim Curran were very guilty of bowling a lot of stuff on the bread and butter area of Colin Munro. That was on his legs. So unfortunately, the English bowlers really suffered due to the mistakes that they committed, as Willey and Tom Curran sprayed the ball on the leg side, and Colin Munro, it was easy pickings for him. With his power and timing, he was dispatching them for wonderful leg side sixes. What a knock from Colin Munro. Inside the power play, he had smashed this English attack to absolute smithereens, adding 78 runs for the first wicket with Martin Guptill. So 57 of 21 balls, 3 fours and 7 sixes before Rashid picked up his wicket. Martin Guptill was once again continuing that onslaught that he did in the match against Australia, as he really kicked off with 62 of 47 deliveries, 3 fours and 4 sixes before becoming a victim, the maiden T20 victim for David Mallon. Kane Williamson was bowled by Liam Dawson, the spinner, for 8 of 13 balls. In fact, one was wondering when such hitting was going on, what was the reason when the ball was really gripping? What was the reason Morgan did not have his spinners into operation? Because if you look at the bowling from the spinners, Liam Dawson, Adil Rashid, they were pretty good. They only gave 49 runs out of their 8 overs that they bowled and took 2 wickets. So one was a bit surprised at the decision of Morgan, the English captain, as to not give the spinners a chance when Munro and Guptill were really smashing it all around the park. Taylor was out to the bowling of 7. Mark Chapman made sure that these Englishmen would not restrict the New Zealanders, even though they lost the match. Mark Chapman was simply into his element, spanking an unbeaten 37 of 30 deliveries, 2 fours and 2 sixes. 2 sixes that he hit was really wonderful. He actually deposited Liam Dawson into the stands. Granholm was not out on 7, even though New Zealand definitely lost this match 192 for 4, but it didn't really matter because in fact they had to rest, England had to restrict New Zealand to 174, which they could not, and New Zealand sailed into the finals of the Trans Tasman 2020 Trophy Tri-Series. Look at the bowling figures from England. They erred absolutely at the beginning of the New Zealand innings. Willie 3 overs went for 33. Tom Curran 3 overs 1 for 32. Jordan 4 overs none for 41. Adil Rashid 4 overs 1 for 22. Splendid bowling figures. Liam Dawson 4 overs 1 for 27. David Mallon was hit for 27 runs of his 2 overs but picked up his maiden T20 wicket, and Morgan took away the man of the match. So it's Australia versus New Zealand in the Trans Tasman T20 Tri-Series final. Now let's get on to Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, they were playing the second 2020, but Sri Lanka definitely finished off on a great time, winning all the matches in every format that they played, and they would be going up to Sri Lanka with their heads high today when they fly back. And let's look at what the Sri Lankans did. For Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka batted first and racked up a score of 210 for 4, which was driven once again by the openers who did a wonderful job. Gunatilaka and Mendes really went after the Bangladesh opening bowlers. Abu Jayed, who was actually making his debut, and he had a lot of runs taken off his bowling. Abu Jayed, as I said, Abu Jayed was making his T20 debut today, but definitely he got some severe tap. In fact, Mehdi Hassan was making his T20 debut. Abu Jayed was making his debut. For Sri Lanka, it was Maurice Opanso, the spinner, actually making his debut. Now, looking at the Sri Lankan innings, Gunatilaka and Kushal Mendes was started off with a flurry of boundaries. Gunatilaka, on the other hand, always likes to hit over the top, which he was doing, and Abu Jayed was the one who was really suffering at the hands, and Mehdi Hassan also got, it was Nazmul Islam who really kept some control over the bowling, I would say, and the Sri Lankans definitely got off to a wonderful start as they added almost 10 runs per over in the 11th over when the score stood at 98, and then the first wicket fell. Then Soumya Sarkar picked up the wicket of Gunatilaka for 42 of 37 deliveries, 3 fours and 2 sixes. Kushal Mendes' contribution once again. In fact, Kushal Mendes was the star, I would say, because he picked up the player of the match and the player of the series for his knock of 70 of just 42 deliveries, which included 6 fours and 3 wonderful sixes that he hit. And when Kushal Mendes strikes the ball, he strikes it clean. He is one of a wonderful talent from Sri Lanka to me. Pereira made 31. Pereira and Shanaka, in fact, it was Pereira made 31. He was promoted to the batting order. He was given the 1-drop position, and he did his bit. 31 of just 17 deliveries, 3 fours and 1 six. And after that, it was left to Taranga and Shanaka to really blast the Bangladesh bowlers all across the park with a very, very punishing stand of 45 runs in just 19 deliveries. Taranga's contribution being a 25 of just 13 deliveries, 4 fours and 1 six. Shanaka has showing amazing consistency after coming here. He was not out on 30 of 11 deliveries, which included 5 fours and 1 six. At one point of time, he hit 4 fours in one particular consecutive fours in particular over Mustafizur Rahman. Taranga. Chandimal was not out on 2, and Sri Lanka went and sat at a score of 210 for 4, which was always going to be difficult for Bangladesh. Now, Abu Jayed, his debut was really forgettable. 4 overs, 1 for 45. Nazmul Islam, as I said, has been bowling well. 1 for 28. Mehdi Hassan, 2 overs, 1 for 25. Mustafizur Rahman, 4 overs, 1 for 39. Mohammad Saifuddin, 4 overs, 1 for 46. Soumya Sarkar, 2 overs, smashed for 25, 1 wicket. Bangladesh batting, well, there's nothing to really talk about. There was not much of, the only person who resisted was Tamim Iqbal, who was doing his job, 29 of 23 balls, 2 fours and 2 sixes, particularly well, before Mauricio Panso, who was the spinner, who picked up the wicket of Tamim Iqbal by getting him caught by Dhananjaya, and that was his T20 maiden T20 wicket. Soumya Sarkar was out for a duck today with Akila Dhananjaya starting proceedings from the other end along with Madhushanka. Now Madhushanka, as I said yesterday in my Twitter, that Madhushanka should be persisted with. It's too early to look into it, and today he really proved it. He picked up two important wickets. He picked up the wicket of Mushfiqur Rahim for 6 of just 3 balls with 1 6. Mohammad Mithun was sent packing by Madhushanka for 5, 3 balls with 1 4. And it was very unfortunate that Madhushanka, who was really hitting the straps there, with 2.1 overs, no maiden, 23 runs and 2 vital wickets, could not get as he hobbled away off the field with an injury. Ariful Haq was out for 2, once again failing against the Lankans. Mahmudullah did his bit and he was there for them for a long time, but again he was running out of partners. He was run out for 41 of 31 runs, 4 fours and 1 6. Saifuddin making 20 of 21 balls, 1 4, 1 6. Mariuson 11, Mustafizur Rahman 8, and Abu Jayed was the last man out for 2. And the Bangladeshis were bowled out for 135. Not going to the bowling figures today due to lack of time here because I had to go to the India-South Africa match here. But I can tell you that Dhananjaya bowled very well. 1 for 20 and Kushal Mendis took the man of the match. So now we are going into the last part of this cricket happening show, and that's going to be the sixth match which was played between, we are talking about the first T20 which was played between India and South Africa. It was played at the Wanderers in Johannesburg, which really had a real great scattering of Indian spectators because there were a lot of Indian people available. There was tremendous crowd support for the Indians, I would say. And the Indians started off. India batted first here against South Africa, Johannesburg, and what a start! I mean, this was, and South Africa had some problems. In fact, they were already crippled, and to add to that, de Villiers was out of the T20 tri-series, and that's real bad news for South Africa. He could not play in this particular match. India batting first racked up a total of 203 for 5, and they had only one way to go. They probably came with the sort of a notion that the ball is there to be hit, and that's what they precisely did. Rohit Sharma hit 2 glorious sixes and 2 fours in a very quick knock of 21 of 8 deliveries, of 9 deliveries, and Dala, the pace bowler, actually picking up his maiden T20 wicket. Dala got his maiden T20 wicket of Rohit Sharma. He's gone for 21. Shikhar Dhawan carrying on in that splendid form that he was caressing the ball to all parts of the field with his strokes. He was slashing the ball through point. He was sending the ball through the onside. He nicely flicks the delivery as well. He was driving well, and Shikhar Dhawan was unstoppable. But he was stopped by Feluquayo, but after doing immense damage to the South African bowling with 72 of just 39 deliveries, which included 10 fours and 2 sixes. Raina got an opportunity, smashed it all around the park with 15 of 7 deliveries, 2 fours and 1 6, before Dala picked up his second T20 international wicket, cotton bowled Dala. So Raina unfortunately failing. Kohli could not. Kohli was along with Dhawan, and things were rolling on nicely for India before Kohli was out for 26 when Shamsi had him LBW. 26 20 deliveries, 2 fours and 1 6. And after that, everybody indulged some. Manish Pandey indulged in unbeaten 29 of 27 deliveries, 1 6. Dhoni made 16 of 11 deliveries, 2 fours. Pandya was there, not out of 13 of 7 deliveries, 2 fours, 2 and 3 for 5. But one has to say, India were looking good for 225. So credit to the South African bowlers who came back very well in the last 8 overs, and especially considering that Dane Patterson, I thought he bowled a superb death over. The final overs bowled by Patterson, he mixed it up with nice Yorkers, slower deliveries, the slow bouncers as well, and he did a wonderful job, I thought, Dane Patterson, even though probably his bowling figures wouldn't reflect it. 4 overs, none for 48 for Dane Patterson, Dalla 2 for 47, Morris 4 overs, 1 for 39, Shamsi 4 overs, 1 for 37, Smuts 2 overs, none for 14, Feluquayo 2 overs, 1 for 16. The South Africans were given a target of 204. They started off well with Smuts hitting 3 boundaries, a knock of 14 of 9 balls before dispatched by Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, who took a 5-wicket haul today. Splendid bowling for Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. I mean, they were probably thinking of hitting him. It was always going to be difficult because he's some bowler. He's a very smart bowler, swings the ball both ways, and he really made the South Africans work for it. And Reza Hendricks today played a wonderful innings. I'm sure this is his highest score in T20 cricket for him. He made 70 of 50, that was 8 fours and 1 6, and he was the one who was holding the hopes for South Africans for a long time before his wicket went in the final analysis. And then Kumar came in and picked up the wicket of J.P. Duminy, caught by Raina, forcing the batsman to play the strokes, and he kept on nipping wickets. Duminy was gone for 3 of 7 deliveries. David Miller was a victim of the bowling of Pandya for 9 of 5 ball. Now that was a problem area for South Africa, according to me, with de Villiers not being there, with Duminy and Miller being dismissed very cheaply. Behardin did his bit, but the spinner Charles picked up his wicket for 39 of 27 deliveries, 3 fours, 2 sixes. Klassen could not do much damage. He was out for 16 of 8 balls, 1 4, 1 6. Kumar coming in and picking up the wicket. Kumar at one stage picked up 3 wickets in 1 over, inclusive of a run out, and hat-trick over, but not a hat-trick to Kumar. But Kumar picked up 5 wickets, made on 5-wicket haul in T20s, and 5-wicket haul in T20s is considered to be very, very special. Philip Quayo was out for 13. He had a lot to do, and he fell holding out to Javed Unadkat when 30 runs were required of the final over. Morris out for duck. In fact, it was Kumar who really made them. First, he had Klassen caught by Raina and he skied the ball in the air. Morris, as soon as he came the very first ball, he tried to blast Kumar into the upper territory, but Raina coolly settled and clung on to the catch. Patterson was run out of the next delivery for 1, making it a hat-trick over. But again, as I said, it was not a hat-trick over for Kumar, but it was a hat-trick over for India. Dalla was not on to, it was all over, 174 for 9. India going 1 zip in the T20 series. Bhuvneshwar Kumar for his maiden 5-wicket haul in T20 internationals, getting the man of the match award. As I said, getting 5 wickets in a T20 match is something very, very special, and that's what Bhuvneshwar Kumar was today. Splendid bowling from him, the knuckle ball, the everything you say, he had it today. 4 overs, no more than 24 runs and 5 wickets for Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Unadkat 4 overs, 1 for 33. Bumrah 4 overs, none for 32. Pandya went for 45 his 4 overs with 1 wicket. Yuzvendra Chahal 4 overs, 1 for 39. Today, the other wrist spinner, Kuldeep Yadav, was rested, but still India. But I thought the South Africans still did well without in the absence of de Villiers. They still managed to reach a score of 175. Well, dear fans and subscribers, there's no more time here to dwell. It's about time for me to sign off on this daily cricket show and see you all tomorrow on my next Cricket Happening show. Goodbye.